Hey everyone, this is a clip from a recent episode of Another Pass, where we talk about movies and all the struggles that go into making them. If you like it, check out the whole podcast. You can find it at certainpov.com or wherever you get your podcasts. I kept on making notes throughout this whole movie of being like, oh, who is Valerian supposed to be like?
Yeah.
Because, there's a lot of like tropiness going on. Like, this is both influential, but it's also just part of a genre. So, like, anyone who has played Mass Effect is going to be like, oh, a lot of this looks really similar. Like,
Ooh.
It's like the Citadel, their armors are the same, all of that. And this is the inspiration for that. And I was like, all right, so what is Valerian supposed to be like? And for a while, I had settled on him being like the stainless steel rat, where he's like a space spy who like is allowed to go outside of the rules because he's getting stuff done, and he's a bit of like a bad boy but like a charmer, something like a James Bond. And then at the end of the movie, he's not. And they reveal what when looking into it, I'm like, oh, that's actually more accurate to the characterization in the comics, because I hadn't really read the comics. So I was like, he's Hal Jordan is at the end of the movie. So like the sense of who this character is keeps on like flipping throughout.
Yeah.
And that sort of is why like I don't think they really like stick it there. And then Laureline,
same problem.
Actually, like they omitted like the most complicated part of her like story from the comics, which is that she is actually from medieval France.
Excuse me?
So Valerian, in addition to being a space opera, is also a time travel opera. And I don't think they needed that for this movie. Like that.
No, I'm glad they excluded that. It would have been nice if her character was consistent outside of that. But I feel like the problem I had with Laureline is that they really talked a big game about how she was so cool and just the most badass. And like that whole first scene in Big Market, it kind of comes across like she's the hyper competent one and he's the one who kind of, goofs off. Like she's the one who's very cool and serious, and he's the one who's a little bit more rattled by the stuff going on around them. And then, I was pretty annoyed that they put her in that cool power armor, and then she never uses the power armor. And then when she gets kidnapped while wearing said power armor, she does not use the power armor to escape, and instead allows it to be removed and is put in a white dress and is rescued from peril, and then spends the rest of the movie not in the power armor.
Yeah,
and I was like, we saw him run through walls in that power armor. Why is anybody arresting or kidnapping her when she has it on?
I agree with you so much, and especially since you get like moments like when basically she's commandeered and taken, she convinces those two soldiers to try to handcuff her, and then she uses that as a trick to basically kick their asses, put them in handcuffs, and walk away. And it's like, okay, cool. And then she gets kidnapped, and all she does is scream for Valerian, and then she changes into a dress. And later on, when Bubbles, who I love,
I love Bubble. Bubble's best character.
Honestly, keep that forever. Like, I don't even care what was wrong with it. Like, no, stamp it. Rihanna's wonderful as it. We're gonna go with it. But like, Bubbles like, you can't hit her. She's a lady, and I was just like, wait, what? Like, I think we as the viewers already know that she's a lady who's kicked someone in the face in this movie.
Yeah, that second, rescue quest really felt like it was from a completely different, slightly more possibly racist movie. It was just a very weird, it was like something you'd see on MST3K in, the 80s.
There was some real cringe there. It was like, look at this, tribal chieftain.
Yeah, suddenly she's been abducted.
He's gonna eat you.
The natives are restless, and also we put her in a gorgeous dress, and she's screaming for help, and the guy's using a sword to rescue her, and it's... This movie, I mean, it is adapted from a comic, so it's possible it's based on a lot of different episodes kind of stitched together. But parts of it really felt like a lot of different episodes stitched together.
And again, that episode could have come from the 60s. So maybe
Unchanged.
It was indeed all of those things we're reading are correct. But
yeah.
Remember, if you like that clip, check out the podcast. You can find it at certainpov.com or wherever you get your podcasts.